The South African government says it will improve bilateral relationship with Nigeria by exploring areas of mutual investment opportunities, including agriculture, education, arts and culture, among others. To fast-track this symbiotic relationship, South Africa will now issue 5 to 10 years visa for Nigerian investors as well as postgraduate students starting from next year. The South African Consulate General in Nigeria, Bobby Monroe, revealed this new arrangement during a courtesy visit to the Edo State Government House in Benin City, the Edo State capital. Commending the South African envoy for the gesture, Governor Godwin Obaseki explains that the state government is already positioned to attract investments by ensuring that the prerequisite infrastructure is in place.
We want to be intentional about this, to invite Nigerian captains of industry and business people to apply for visas. Then we give them 5 to 10 year visas, multiple entry, I think for a period of 3 months or so that they can, we facilitate the ease of doing business through that, because unless and until we make sure that the movement of business people between the two countries is seamless and simplified, it will be very difficult for us to achieve some of the projects that we are discussing here today. That's one category. The next category, which we consider quite very important, is human capital in the form of the academia. Your university students who are studying in South Africa from Nigeria, your researchers, your academics, professors, the whole group. We are quite very fortunate as South Africa to be having a very huge number of postgraduate students who identify South Africa as their preferred destination for their studies. We have created an enabling environment for them to ensure that they comfortably complete their studies. Now, what we are going to be doing is that if your PhD or your postgraduate studies or your undergraduate studies takes a duration of 5 years, we are now going to give you a visa which is equivalent or even more than the years of your study.
For us as a state, we look at things from an execution standpoint. How do we make it happen? And in that consideration, we want to say, look, how do we reduce the risk? Let's not, pretend about Nigeria was not the easiest place to do business for foreigners. And therefore, governments that seek to attract investments from, outside the country must understand the thinking and also, the thinking where the businesses are coming from and try and approximate to, the issues that they are, related to or concerned with. You can't come to Nigeria to want to do business in Nigeria when you're not sure about the electricity supply. This is what you take for granted, for instance, in South Africa. So as a state, we've decided to focus on those building blocks. It's okay. If we're going to manufacture, if we're going to process, if we're going to, have a joint